Well, it's certainly a great day here on Welcome to Our Community as I get a chance to welcome two history makers to the show. First, Lieutenant Colonel Nicole Scott-Bond, the newest Lieutenant Colonel for the Chatham County Sheriff's Office. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And of course, Sheriff Richard Coleman. Thank you so much for being here as well, sir.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Well, we're excited about your promotion. That's what we're talking about today. Just last week, you became the first female Lieutenant Colonel for the Chatham County Sheriff's Office. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And how does it feel?
It's like a dream come true, to be honest with you. It was not expected. I just come to work every day, do my job, and when the sheriff called me in his office along with my peers, and he made the announcement, I was like, "Are you talking about me?" And he was like, "Yeah, Lieutenant Colonel." So at that moment, it was just like, wow. And of course, I thanked him and actually said thank you to my coworkers because without them, you know, none of this would be possible because we push each other every day.
That's right.
To be the best that we can be.
That's true. We're only as good as our team members is what I've learned throughout the years.
Yes.
And Sheriff, you know, of course, a lot of people have been with the Sheriff's Department for a very long time. Yes. A lot of great accomplishments, just like this wonderful lady. What made her uniquely the person that you needed to give this rank to?
Well, you know, unique is the word, right? When I did the promotion, I had no idea of the historical piece, which makes this increasingly amazing. Is because she was promoted based off her performance and her merit solely. And so when we did the promotion, and then we learned afterwards of the historical piece, it just made for an amazing situation. One thing I've always said to myself is that when I'm that person and I make those decisions, it will always be based on the individual's performance and their personal merit. And Lieutenant Colonel has deserved every bit of what she has received.
It seems like you really knew what you were doing, and what's even better is that, you know, sometimes people know about the fact that they've never had a woman in this position before, but for him not to know and look at you amongst everyone in that sheriff's office, it must give you a real sense of pride.
It really do.
So when you started more than 22 years ago at the sheriff's office, did you ever dream of your career taking you to this height?
No, because of course I came from the school system. So when I first started at the sheriff's office, it was like something different because, you know, a lot of people, when you go into corrections, you really don't know, you know, what you're getting yourself into. You see things on TV, you see different stories about, you know, the jail environment. But when I entered into those walls of Chatham County Sheriff's Office, it was different. It was that sense of family. And I have really, really good a field training officer, which we call FTOs. And she trained me to know how to run a unit, what it means to respect the inmates, treat people the way that you want to be treated. And I carry that on every single day. I do believe in treating people the way that I want to be treated.
Well, speaking of the unit, you have had so much responsibility long before this promotion. You're over a lot of units, a lot of responsibilities. Just let our viewers know typically what you're responsible for day to day.
So my day-to-day responsibilities, I oversee units 1 and 2. I oversee the towers, which is units 6, 7, 8, and 9, the medical unit, and also the food service and the warehouse. Also, myself and Major Hill, we oversee the engineers. I have programs, social services, and classification.
Not only are you busy day to day as the job you're paid to do, but you also are working with the interns. So you're helping to shape this next generation of law enforcement here in the county.
Yes, because I came from the school system, I've always had a passion for students. So when they asked me to be the intern coordinator, I was like, oh yes, that's fine, because I knew that, you know, having individuals that study in law enforcement coming into the field, that was perfect. So for me, you know, I was able to really, you know, pour into those students so that when they actually graduate and go off, you know, on their jobs, that they'll have that foundation.
Well, you know, I have to ask you from a female standpoint, working in a jail environment, I couldn't even imagine what you all go through, but to me, even a strong woman, it'd have to be a little bit of fear when you first start. I'm not saying you're afraid now, but what do you think is the difference between a male wearing that uniform, walking in there for the first time, and a female?
Well, I think with females, the stigmatism already placed on us, you know, but once you walk into that environment, and we have this saying, be fair, firm, and consistent. As long as you fair, firm, and consistent, it doesn't matter if you're a male or female, you will get the respect that you need. I've always said, treat these inmates as if they were your family members. We're not saying do favors for them. We're not saying, you know, violate any policies. But when you treat those individuals as if they're your family members, you're going to treat them different. And I carry that every day. And I make sure that, hey, if an inmate has any issues, any problems, we're going to address it. Just being a female in that environment, we have to be a little bit tougher because it's like, you just a female. But I've been, from the first day, you do have some inmates that will say, you know what, I'm not going to let anything happen to that female. But when you treat those individuals with respect, you're not going to have any problems anyway.
Sheriff Coleman, as you sit and watch your recent promotion here, speaking about every aspect of her job, it must give you even another level of pride for what has just happened here recently in the history of the Chatham County Sheriff's Office.
Absolutely. You know, when I learned of the history piece, like I said, it was just simply amazing. But to know that this actually counteracts the notion that women have to be satisfied with secondary advancements, right? We're shattering that here at the Chatham County Sheriff's Office. I'm so happy and excited about that. So when the young ladies throughout this community look at the Chatham County Sheriff's Office, they can see one who looks like them and say, Mama, I can be that. I can be that. I can be a lieutenant colonel. Yes, you can.
What's next for you in terms of goals or your vision now that you have yet another opportunity?
Well, it's just to continue to be a good servant.